Hi, good morning, one and all. Last class we can discuss about lymph. Now we can discuss about coagulation of blood. How the blood is coagulated or how the blood is clotted. Here, homeostasis. What is meant by homeostasis means the process of stoppage of blood oozing is known as a hemostasis. Here the oozing time is how many minutes? 2 to 3 minutes is the oozing time, and the coagulation time, totally the process how much time the blood is coagulated means that is 2 to 8 minutes. It is initiated by how the blood is coagulated, that is initiated by injured tissue and blood platelets. Here the blood corpuscles, they having a RBC, WBC and blood platelets where the tissue is injured, and also by the presence of this blood platelets this coagulation of blood is takes place. Here the clot or coagulum, it is what in color? Reddish brown in color. Where it is formed? It is formed at the site of injury. Here they need a embolus. What is meant by embolus? See, now this one is the blood vessel. The clots present within the blood. The clots present within the blood, that is called as a embolus, and it is very severe one. Thrombus. Thrombus means the clot is present on the surface of the tissue, on the surface of the blood vessel, that is called as a thrombus. That's why thrombus is a static clot, a temporary one formed at the inside of the blood vessel. Lumen of the blood vessel becomes narrow. Here lumen means this cavity becomes narrow. Now see how this blood is coagulated, what are the processes takes place. When the blood is clotting, they need a factors. What are the factors? Totally they have a 12 factors is present. Blood clotting factor 1 is called as a fibrinogen. Blood clotting factor 2 is known as a prothrombin. 3 thromboplastin. 4 calcium ions. 5 proacceleratin or labile factor. 7 proconvertin. 8 anti-hemophilic or anti-hemophilic globins, and 9 Christmas factor. 10 starter power factor. 11 plasma thromboplastin antecedent. 12 Hasman's factor. 13 fibrin stabilizing factor. Mainly by the presence of these factors the blood is coagulated. Coagulation of blood is in a cascade reaction. What is meant by cascade reaction means it is a multiple steps reaction. That reaction is called as a cascade reactions. Now see, suppose when a blood vessel is injured, now this one is in a blood vessel. I already said when the for coagulation of blood it is initiated by what I said, injured tissue and also with blood platelets. Here injured tissue is blood vessel. Blood vessel is a injured tissue. When blood vessel is injured, blood is exposed to collagen fibers. Here they are having a collagen fibers. Now for this initiation they are having a 3 separate steps are present. The first step is the vasoconstriction. The second step is the formation of platelet plugs, and third one is the formation of web of fibrin proteins. Then they can form a clot. Now what is vasoconstrictor and what is formation of platelet formation and what is the fibrin proteins? Now vasoconstriction. when the blood vessel is injured. Now this one is the smooth muscles. Smooth muscles will contract. When the smooth muscles will contract, what will happen? The lumen of blood vessel is narrow. When this lumen of blood vessel is narrow, what will happen? Blood flow is decreased. That is the first step. That is called as a vasoconstrictor. And for suppose when the stronger contraction will be there, means like this. At that time it can prevent the blood flow. Second one, the formation of platelet plugs. Now this one is the basement membrane and inside one is called as a endothelium. When this endothelium is ruptured, at that time the platelets attach to collagens. Total the platelets is releases. This platelets is attached to the collagen fibers. Now the platelets release the secretion into the blood. Totally the platelets is releases into the blood vessels. Now all the blood vessels, all the platelets in the blood will become a sticky. When it will become a sticky, totally this platelets is attached to the collagen fibers. Totally a plug is formed. That is called as a platelet plug. When this plug is formed, there is no flow of blood in this blood vessels. Totally it will be clotted. And this third step, formation of web of fibrins and formation of clots. Here this mechanism of hemostasis, activate substances plus platelets plus blood proteins, they can form a clot. Activated substances, platelets, blood proteins, they can form a clot. Here based upon this clot, the first step is the formation of prothrombin activator. I already said prothrombin activator is formed by what type of reactions? Cascade chemical reaction. Cascade chemical reaction means many reactions. Suppose A to B, B is activated, B activates the C to D, D activates the E to F, that is inactive form to the active form. Now this prothrombin activator is formed by two ways. One is the intrinsic pathway, another one is the extrinsic pathway. When this blood vessels is injured, blood vessels in contact with the collagen fibers, I already said, at that time it can release a factor. What factor? 12th factor. Here it can release a factor, that factor is the 7th factor. Both will be same, but the factors will be different. This is the 12th factor, this one is the 7th factor. Now how this cascade reactions takes place means, suppose the prothrombin activator is releases by so many multiple reactions. These reactions we will discuss in PG classes. This prothrombin activator converts the prothrombin inactive form to thrombin active form. Now this thrombin converts fibrinogen to fibrin monomers. Fibrin monomers is the soluble forms. They having a weak hydrogen bonds. Now the platelets can release the 13th factor, that is the fibrin stabilizing factor. This fibrin stabilizing factor converts soluble fibrin monomers to insoluble fibrin fibers. This insoluble fibrin fibers, they have a strong covalent bonds. This insoluble fibrin fibers, they can form a cross linkages and they can form a meshwork like structure in the where the blood vessels is injured. At that time there the clot reactions takes place. During this clot reaction, a fluid exploded out. That is called as a serum. The serum is a straw yellow odor color. They having a plasma without clotting factors. That's why for this blood clotting compulsory we need a what factors mainly, that is 12th factor, 7th factor, and then prothrombin activator, then also we need a thrombin, and also we need a calcium main, and also fibrin stabilizing factor. Mainly these factors can be influenced the formation of the blood clotting. Now another one, anticoagulants. Anticoagulants means which can delay the coagulation or blood clotting. Heparin normally it is present in the blood. It is secreted by the liver, mast cells and basophils. It is a antithrombin. It means they can prevent the platelet formation and prevents the clotting of blood within the blood vessels. Warfarin, it is derived from the coumarin. It is a plant origin. It is antagonistic to the vitamin K. It is mainly useful for the essential of synthesis of blood clotting factor 2, 7, 9 and 10. And then citrate or oxalates or sodium oxalates used in the blood banks to prevent the blood clotting. Suppose మీకు ఎప్పుడైనా సరే బ్లడ్ తీసినప్పుడు బ్లడ్ ఒక చిన్న ప్యాకెట్స్లో పెట్టినప్పుడు ఆ బ్లడ్ క్లాట్ కాకుండా ఉండాలి అంటే మనకు ఆర్టిఫిషియల్గా యాంటీకోయాగులెంట్ ఏమి యూస్ చేస్తారంటే సోడియం ఆక్సలేట్స్ అని యూస్ చేస్తారు. ఈ సోడియం ఆక్సలేట్స్ ఎప్పుడైతే యూస్ చేస్తారో బ్లడ్ అనేది క్లాట్ కాదు. న్యాచురల్ యాంటీకోయాగులెంట్ ఎవరంటే హెపారిన్. నౌ దిస్ ఈస్ రిగార్డింగ్ టు ద కోయాగులేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది బ్లడ్.